As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the room, Mark's anticipation grew. He had just finished an interview for a job he had been eyeing for months. With each passing minute, the weight of his expectations seemed to grow heavier, his heart beating like a drumbeat in his chest. Suddenly, the piercing ring of his phone shattered the silence, sending a jolt of adrenaline coursing through his veins. With trembling hands, Mark reached for the device, his breath catching in his throat as he saw the caller ID. It was the company he had interviewed with. Swallowing hard, Mark answered the call, his voice strained with anticipation. On the other end of the line, a solemn voice delivered the news he had been dreading. Despite his best efforts, despite pouring his heart and soul into the interview, Mark had not been selected for the position. They had chosen another candidate. Time seemed to stand still as Mark processed the words, each syllable landing like a blow to his already fragile spirit. Disappointment washed over him. Thoughts racing through his mind, the hours spent preparing for the interview, the dreams of a brighter future now shattered. With a heavy heart, Mark thanked the caller for their time, his voice betraying the pain he struggled to contain. As he hung up the phone, a sense of defeat settled over him like a suffocating blanket. The room felt smaller, the air thicker, as if the weight of his disappointment pressed down on him from all sides. Slumping into his worn-out chair, Mark stared blankly at the flickering screen of his phone. His hand trembled slightly as he lifted the lukewarm cup of coffee to his lips, hoping its bitter warmth would soothe the bitter disappointment gnawing at his insides. But the rejection didn't end there. He noticed a notification, a text message from his longtime best friend, Jacob. He had sent that text to his best friend hours ago, pouring his heart out in a desperate attempt to salvage their crumbling friendship. His heart skipped a beat as he eagerly opened it, only to find that his message from earlier had been left on read, a digital slap in the face. Mark let out a humorless chuckle, shaking his head at the absurdity of it all. Here he was, drowning in a sea of rejection, both professionally and personally. It was like the universe had conspired to kick him while he was already down. But amidst the gloom, a glimmer of determination sparked within him. He refused to let these setbacks define him. With a deep breath, he set down his empty cup and squared his shoulders, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Sure, the road ahead might be rocky, filled with potholes of rejection and detours of disappointment. But Mark was determined to navigate it with resilience and humor, turning each setback into a stepping stone towards a brighter tomorrow. Maybe things hadn't gone according to plan today, but he refused to let that dampen his spirits. After all, tomorrow was a new day, filled with endless possibilities and second chances. And Mark was ready to seize them with both hands. Rejection may sting, but it would not break him. Have you ever felt like the world was closing in on you? Like no matter what you do, you keep hitting walls of rejection. We all have been Mark at some point in our lives. Rejection is a universal experience, a bitter potion that everyone at some point must swallow. Whether it's a job we didn't get, a love unrequited, or a proposal turned down, rejection stings. Rejection, it's more than just a word. It's a force that can shape our lives in profound ways. But what exactly is rejection? It's not just about being turned down for a job or a date. No, rejection runs deeper than that. It's that nagging voice in the back of your mind, whispering doubts and insecurities. It's the feeling of not being good enough, of not measuring up to some invisible standard. It's the fear of failure, the fear of being cast aside and forgotten. But what if rejection wasn't something to be feared, but instead embraced? What if, in the face of rejection, we found not despair, but opportunity? These are the questions that Stoicism, an ancient philosophy with modern relevance, invites us to consider. Imagine a world where rejection wasn't a roadblock, but a stepping stone. Picture a life where every setback was a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. This is the vision that Stoicism offers, a roadmap to transforming rejection into a catalyst for personal development and self-actualization. But how do we embark on this journey? How do we harness the power of rejection to become the best versions of ourselves? One of the biggest misconceptions about rejection is that it defines us. We often equate rejection with failure, seeing it as a reflection of our worth as individuals. But here's the truth: rejection is not a reflection of our value, it's simply a part of life. It's a natural consequence of putting ourselves out there, of taking risks and pursuing our dreams. Stoicism teaches us to view rejection not as a door slamming shut, but as redirection, a guidepost pointing us towards paths we might have overlooked. It's in these moments of setback that Stoicism offers a profound lesson. Rejection is not a reflection of our value, but a natural part of the human experience, an opportunity for growth and reflection. To discover 5 essential principles for confronting rejection head-on, make sure to stay tuned until the very end. Don't forget to give that like button a tap and ring the notification bell, because we're about to dive straight into it. 1. Focus on improving yourself. When was the last time you prioritized your mental and physical well-being? In this journey of self-improvement, we can draw wisdom from Stoic philosophy. It reminds us that becoming better isn't about luck. It's about making a conscious effort to grow every day. Think about the power you have to shape your own life and become the kind of person you aspire to be. Instead of just talking about being good, you need to take action and actually be good. Picture a version of yourself brimming with confidence, always bouncing back from tough times and having a special energy that attracts others to you. That version is not a distant fantasy, it's within reach, it's something you can achieve with strong determination and a clear purpose. But getting better takes more than just wishing for it. It requires intentional steps, facing your fears and pushing out of your comfort zone. You can start by investing in yourself, learning from others, reading and trying new things. Perhaps it's time to dust off that old guitar and finally learn to play. Or maybe you've always wanted to try your hand at painting or writing. Whether it's traveling to a new destination, taking up a new hobby, or learning a new language, these experiences challenge us to expand our perspectives and develop new skills. The possibilities are endless, and it's not just about mastering new skills, it's about nurturing our mental and physical well-being too. Take a moment to think about your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. See if they match up with what matters most to you and what you want to achieve. Writing in a journal can really help with this. It lets you express yourself freely and understand yourself better. It's like shining a light on the inside of your mind and finding the path to where you want to go. It's not just something nice to do, it's really important for our future and the mark we leave on the world. Another essential aspect of self-improvement is setting and working towards goals. Imagine waking up to a day with no sense of direction or purpose. No exciting goals to strive for, no dreams to chase. Just another day blending into the next with no distinction. Sounds dull, doesn't it? Looking forward to something isn't always about big adventures. It could be as simple as coming home, taking a warm shower, and watching your favorite show. These little moments of relaxation bring joy and comfort, reminding us that happiness can be found in the everyday. Setting and working towards goals isn't just about checking items off a to-do list. It's about injecting your life with purpose, passion, and drive. It's about transforming mundane routines into exhilarating adventures and mundane days into moments of triumph. In the pursuit of self-improvement, the journey is as important as the destination. Each step taken towards growth, whether big or small, contributes to the person we aspire to become. Drawing inspiration from Stoic philosophy reminds us of the power we possess to shape our lives and mold ourselves into individuals brimming with confidence and purpose. 2. Set boundaries and prioritize your needs. When rejection knocks at your door, it's your cue to set boundaries that safeguard your mental and emotional well-being. Imagine this. You're at a social gathering, hoping to connect with others, but someone consistently crosses the line, making snide remarks that chip away at your confidence. Instead of shrinking into the shadows, it's time to boldly assert your boundaries. Picture yourself calmly but firmly expressing, "I appreciate constructive feedback, but I won't tolerate personal attacks." By doing so, you're not just drawing a line in the sand, you're reclaiming your power. Let's delve into Mark's situation. While we may not have the full backstory, let's envision a scenario where his friendship with Jacob took a sour turn. Picture this. Jacob repeatedly exploits Mark's kindness by making unreasonable demands, such as frequently asking for financial assistance to cover debts or rent. Feeling increasingly frustrated, Mark starts avoiding Jacob's messages, leading their friendship to deteriorate rapidly. Sensing the imminent collapse, Mark decides to extend an olive branch, hoping to salvage what's left of their bond. In such a predicament, Mark finds himself at a crossroads. On one hand, human connection is vital for our well-being, and maintaining meaningful relationships is crucial for our mental health. However, there comes a point where tolerating mistreatment or injustice in the name of companionship becomes detrimental. Consider this. While everyone deserves a second chance, enabling others to take advantage of our kindness sets a dangerous precedent. By tolerating Jacob's behavior, Mark inadvertently teaches him that it's acceptable to exploit his friendship. It's a delicate balance between forgiveness and self-respect. So what advice can we offer Mark in this delicate situation? Firstly, Mark needs to reflect on his own worth and boundaries. He must recognize that his well-being is paramount and that he deserves to be treated with respect and kindness in all his relationships. Next, Mark should communicate assertively with Jacob, expressing how his actions have made him feel and setting clear boundaries moving forward. This conversation may be uncomfortable, but it's necessary for fostering mutual respect and understanding. Furthermore, Mark should evaluate whether the friendship is truly enriching his life or if it's causing more harm than good. Sometimes, letting go of toxic relationships is the healthiest choice we can make for ourselves, even if it means facing temporary loneliness. Ultimately, Mark must prioritize his own happiness and emotional well-being. While human connection is invaluable, it should never come at the expense of self-respect and dignity. By recognizing his own worth and setting healthy boundaries, Mark can navigate this challenging situation with grace and integrity. Now, let's apply this principle to our own lives. When faced with a similar scenario, what advice do we give ourselves? It's easy to preach self-care, but putting it into practice can be challenging. However, prioritizing our mental health is non-negotiable. Consider this. How do you feel after interacting with someone who consistently disregards your boundaries or makes you feel undervalued? Your emotional response is often a clear indicator of whether a relationship is nourishing or draining. So, the advice we give ourselves is simple yet profound. Prioritize your well-being. Set boundaries that protect your mental and emotional health, and don't hesitate to enforce them when necessary. Remember, it's not about cutting everyone off, but rather surrounding yourself with people who uplift and respect you. Take each interaction with a pinch of salt. Reflect on how it leaves you feeling. If it brings joy and positivity, nurture that connection. If it brings stress or negativity, consider whether it's worth maintaining. Ultimately, our mental health should always come first. By honoring our boundaries and prioritizing self-care, we pave the way for healthier, more fulfilling relationships and a greater sense of inner peace. But setting boundaries isn't just about saying no, it's about saying yes to yourself. Consider this. You've had a long day at work, and your friend asked you to help them move. Instead of automatically saying yes out of obligation, take a moment to check in with yourself. Visualize the warm embrace of your cozy couch, the soothing aroma of your favorite tea. It's okay to prioritize your rest. Politely decline the request, knowing that by honoring your needs, you're nurturing your well-being. Remember, boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges to healthier relationships and a happier you. So, dare to speak up, dare to prioritize yourself. In a world where rejection may linger, your boundaries become your armor, your shield against anything that threatens your worth. 3. Seek feedback with an open mind. Imagine standing at a crossroads. The path you intended to take is blocked, and you're forced to choose another direction. Initially, the new path seems daunting, unfamiliar. However, as you walk it, you discover landscapes of opportunity you never knew existed. This metaphor illustrates the Stoic response to rejection. It's about seeing beyond the immediate disappointment, recognizing that sometimes what we perceive as setbacks are actually detours towards something equally, if not more, valuable. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When faced with rejection, we have the power to choose our reaction. Do we see it as a personal failure Or do we embrace it as an opportunity to reassess, to learn, and to grow stronger? Stoicism encourages the latter, urging us to ask ourselves, what can this experience teach me? How can I use this to become a better version of myself? Receiving feedback, especially when it's not what we hoped for, can be tough. But it's essential to recognize that feedback, whether positive or negative, carries immense potential for personal development. Imagine you've just presented a project to your team, excited about your ideas and hard work. However, during the feedback session, your colleagues point out flaws in your presentation style and suggest improvements. Initially, you might feel deflated or defensive, but instead of shutting down, you choose to listen with an open mind. As you absorb their feedback, you realize that their insights offer a fresh perspective. You recognize areas where you can refine your communication skills or polish your delivery. Rather than viewing criticism as a personal attack, you see it as an opportunity for growth. So, you take their suggestions to heart and incorporate them into your next presentation. You practice speaking more confidently, refine your slides for clarity, and engage your audience with compelling storytelling. The result, your next presentation receives rave reviews, showcasing the power of embracing feedback with an open mind. In this example, seeking feedback with an open mind led to tangible improvements and professional growth. By valuing constructive criticism as a catalyst for advancement, you transformed rejection into an opportunity to elevate your skills and performance. Seeking feedback with an open mind is essential for personal growth and improvement. It requires a willingness to listen to constructive criticism without feeling defensive or bitter. Instead of viewing feedback as a personal attack, consider it as an opportunity to learn and evolve. Ask yourself, can I take constructive criticism and use it to better myself? Embracing feedback means recognizing that no one is perfect and that there's always room for improvement. It's about setting aside ego and being open to different perspectives. By welcoming feedback, you invite valuable insights that can help you excel in various aspects of life. Think of feedback as a gift rather than a burden. Each piece of advice or critique is a stepping stone toward becoming the best version of yourself. Whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal endeavors, feedback serves as a guiding light on your journey of self-discovery and growth. So, the next time someone offers you feedback, resist the urge to react defensively. Instead, approach it with an open mind and a willingness to learn. Remember, the path to self-improvement begins with embracing feedback with humility and grace. 4. Being kind to yourself. During tough times, when things don't go our way, it's normal to feel down. It's natural to want to understand why rejection happened and sometimes to blame oneself. However, it's important to look at rejection objectively and not be too hard on oneself. Rejection can really knock our confidence and make us doubt ourselves. But it's important to be gentle with ourselves, even when we're hurting. Remember, just because something didn't work out doesn't mean we're not valuable. Instead of succumbing to self-criticism, extend kindness and understanding towards yourself, recognizing that rejection is a universal experience that doesn't define your value as a person, is key to maintaining a healthy perspective on setbacks. Consider the previous common scenario of Mark getting rejected on a job application. Many people have applied for positions only to receive rejection emails or calls. In this context, it's essential to understand that being turned down for a job doesn't diminish your worth as an individual. Just because one opportunity didn't pan out doesn't mean you're any less capable or deserving. Instead, view it as a part of the journey, one door closing to make way for another. By understanding that rejection is something everyone faces at some point in their lives, you can avoid internalizing it as a personal failure. Rather, it's an opportunity to reassess, learn, and grow, ultimately leading to new opportunities and personal development. Practicing self-compassion means treating ourselves with care and understanding, just like we would with a friend who's going through a tough time. It's about doing things that make us feel good, whether that's spending time with people we love, doing things we enjoy, or taking a moment to relax and look after ourselves. By adopting a mindset of self-compassion, you create a nurturing space within yourself, offering refuge from the harsh judgments of rejection. Through acts of kindness and self-understanding, you cultivate resilience and inner strength, transforming rejection from a source of pain into an opportunity for personal growth and empowerment. Remember, practicing self-compassion isn't about dismissing the hurt of rejection or pretending everything is fine. Rather, it's about acknowledging your pain with gentleness and extending the same empathy and care to yourself that you would offer to a dear friend in need. In doing so, you pave the way for healing, self-discovery, and a renewed sense of self-worth. So next time things don't go as planned, remember to be kind to yourself. It makes all the difference. 5. Stay positive, keep dreaming, and keep trying. It's important to acknowledge that staying positive isn't always easy, especially in the face of repeated rejection. However, maintaining a hopeful outlook can make all the difference in the world. Surround yourself with supportive friends and family who believe in your abilities and encourage you to keep going, even when the going gets tough. In addition to staying positive, it's crucial to keep dreaming. Your dreams are what drive you forward, even when the path seems uncertain. Take inspiration from the vision you have for your future and let it guide you through the darkest moments. Visualize your goals and aspirations with clarity and conviction, knowing that they are within reach if you stay the course. Moreover, don't be afraid to keep trying. Each rejection brings with it valuable lessons and insights that can help you grow and improve. Use feedback constructively to refine your approach and increase your chances of success in the future. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone on the path to achievement. When watching films, people often give advice to characters facing challenges, but applying that same clarity to their own lives can be tough. For example, if a movie character is struggling, viewers might encourage them to keep trying. But when it comes to taking their own advice in real life, it's not always easy. As you navigate the ups and downs of life, remember that resilience is key. Stay positive, keep dreaming, and keep trying, no matter how many times you fall. With faith, perseverance, and a steadfast belief in yourself, you can overcome any obstacle and achieve your wildest dreams. Your brightest days are yet to come. Keep moving forward with unwavering determination and unwavering faith in yourself. Conclusion. In essence, Stoicism doesn't offer us a shield against rejection, but rather a perspective through which to view it. It encourages us to detach our self-worth from external outcomes and to find strength in our ability to persevere, to learn, and to grow regardless of life's ups and downs. So, as we encounter rejection, let's remember that it's not the end of the story, but an invitation to write a new chapter, guided by Stoic wisdom. In the grand scheme of our lives, each rejection is but a stroke of the pen on the page, contributing to the richness of our story, a story that we have the power to shape with courage, wisdom, and virtue. Facing rejection with a Stoic mindset transforms our perception of failure and disappointment. It's not about diminishing the pain or pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about finding meaning in the experience, seeing it as an opportunity to grow, and reminding ourselves that our journey is far from over. The path forward is ours to choose, and with Stoicism as our guide, we navigate the journey with resilience, grace, and an open heart, ready for whatever comes our way.